The market is screaming higher today. Let me ask you a question. Did you FOMO in and completely forgot your whole trading plan just because of one green candle? I bet a lot of people did. But I also bet that a lot of people are worried about what's going on. And let's be realistic here. I can understand why they're worried because we've been chopping sideways through the market since October, right? Prices today are the same price they were in October. And as frustrating as that is, right? Sometimes you make a buck, sometimes you lose a buck in this type of market. We're going to watch this video called Investors Are Wrong About What's Coming Next. Joe, I make no predictions, so I have no idea what's coming next, but apparently other investors are totally dead wrong. So let's watch this together and see. You know I didn't include the sound. You know I didn't. Hang on. You know I didn't.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's my fault. It's my fault. Okay, let's try that again. Don't worry. Rudes will edit this one.
The National Bureau of Economic Research has a very specific definition of what qualifies as an asset bubble. It requires three conditions. First, the asset needs to rise by more than 100% over a 2-year period. Second, it needs to outperform the broader market by at least 100% over that same period. And third, it needs to deliver a 5-year return of over 50%. If we look at railways and...
Bro, this video is going really fast. Like he did not slow down. He's just like boom straight into it.
The 1840s, the Dow Jones in the 1920s, or Japan's stock market in the 1980s.
Oh, what is these? What did Joe? Joe? What do these look like?
The market cycle.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You should.
For those of you, go ahead, Joe. What were you saying?
Yeah, you should pull up your slide and do a. Is this and this is this?
Joe, like. It's awesome to see more people picking up what the market cycle is, because there are stocks like SoFi. Speaking of SoFi, let's see just how brutal it is today. I'm curious. Oh no, it's crashed up to levels not seen since the day before. Buy as much as you can, bros, in the midst of this stage 4 downtrend. Well, what is a stage 4 downtrend, Chris? Well, I'm glad you asked. Stage 1 is the consolidation phase. Joe, I feel like I pull this up daily at this point right now. Like there are so many stocks going through the cycle right now. It's just easy to point to them. Stage 2 is this big, beautiful uptrend where everybody feels like a genius in a bull market. Stage 3 is the sideways consolidation when the moving averages start crossing back over. Stage 4 is the big, nasty move down, right? We're right here in SoFi. You can't tell me we're not here in SoFi. Good luck trying to convince me that we are not already down at anxiety, denial, and panic on SoFi. Just a fact. Now, this is not the first time this has ever happened. This has happened throughout the history of time, which is actually really cool. Now, Mark Minervini has this rule called, so Mark Minervini is one of the greatest traders of all time. He's going to be here in less than 2 weeks, Joe. I am so stoked about that. Yeah. On my birthday, February 19th, Mark Minervini will be joining us, and you guys will be able to ask all the questions you could ever want from a 2-time U.S. Investing Championship winner, which Joe and I are both competing in the U.S. Investing Championship this year. And so we're putting out this whole series about champion traders, and Mark Minervini is going to be here very, very soon. I'm so stoked about that. But looking at this, right, this happens. The 50-80 rule is where I was going with that, is that 50% of the time when you see a big move up like this, including individual stocks like SoFi or Tesla, let's go to Tesla. I'll show you one on Tesla, just that happened last year. Right here. Right. Well, Mark's a friend of mine, so I'm actually super stoked that he's like, yeah, of course I'll be there. So I'm very happy about that. Right. In 2024, 2025, Tesla went through this exact thing. And so the 50-80 rule is that 50% of the time something like this happens, a big move up, it can fall by 80%. And 80% of the time, it can fall by 50%. Okay, that's the 50-80 rule. And it's played out here. It's played out on SoFi. It's played out on Tesla. It's played out on all kinds of stocks, right? You need to be aware that all stocks are bad. Every stock is bad. Even if it's the future of finance, bro, that is a bad stock, because all stocks are trying to rip you off. All stocks are trying to steal your money. Your job is to ride them on the way up and get out of the way when they're on the way down. So this is great. Let's keep going.
80s, each of these market melt-ups met these three conditions, officially being classified as a bubble. In each case, the bubble eventually burst, leading to some of the most painful economic downturns in financial history, including the Great Depression. Today, the consensus in the mainstream media is that we are in the middle of...
Okay, that's super funny. Itty bitty baby Jesus owns SoFi, I mean, allegedly.
A tech bubble. But when we apply the same definition we just walked through on the NASDAQ 100, it does not meet these three conditions. It has only risen by 45% in the last 2 years. It's only outperformed the S&P 500 by 3%, and it's gained 90% in the last 5 years. So only one out of the three boxes has been ticked.
There you go, Joe. Not a bubble. Nope. The AI bubble is not a bubble. Apparently, Matt, I mean, I don't know who came up with these terms, right? But it's kind of like looking at, I don't know if you remember this, a couple years ago when Joe Biden was still in office, they changed the terms for a recession. Did you know that?
No.
They actually did. Because did it meet the terms for recession? Oh, you better believe it did. But they're like, well, that was the old recessions. New recessions don't count as that.
Oh my goodness.
Unless that happened. Google it, by the way. Google it. Not a politics show, but Google it. Yeah. Apparently, by these metrics, not a bubble.
This is very different, for example, to the dot-com bubble, where the NASDAQ 100 ticked all three categories. If we look at the path of semiconductor stocks over the last few years, however, we do see that they're a very close match to the price action of the NASDAQ 100 during the dot-com bubble. Semiconductor stocks have risen by 110% over the last 2 years. They've gained 275% over the last 5 years, and they've outperformed the S&P 500 by almost 100% over the last 2 years, so meeting all of the three factors for bubble. Now, semiconductor stocks are still a very small part of the economy compared to what tech was in 1999, but it's what the sector represents that is important. Semiconductor stocks sit at the center of the AI infrastructure build-out. Data center,
which, let's be all real here, right? There's been so much noise, so much buildup, so much hype around AI. Right, it's almost like the hype around when you put #OVTLYR in the chat, because we're going to be giving away some merch here in just a minute. Did you like that transition, Joe? I was like, okay, here we go. I'm going to work that in. I'm going to work it in. #OVTLYR in the chat if you want to win some free sweet outlier merch. But yeah, back to this, right? The AI data centers, right? The AI companies, those have been the ones that have been driving the market for a long time. Maybe their time is done. Let's keep going.
Cloud computing, large language models, they all rely on one thing first: semiconductor chips. And if these are in a bubble, it probably means that everything associated with them is also in a bubble. Now, most people understand this, but the amount of noise and conflicting opinions.
Joe, do you know what the 4 most dangerous words in finance is? It's not should. Should is the very one. Should is the most dangerous word in all of finance. There's also another phrase. Finance bro speak.
This time is different.
This time is different. It's right there on the screen. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Did you know that?
I can't see it because of the chat window.
Can't see it because of all the cool outliers throwing #OVTLYR in the chat. Yeah, the number 1 most dangerous word is should. The second phrase that's most dangerous is this time is different. Yeah.
That we hear regarding this topic is extreme. Our job is to digest all of the data to give you a clear picture of what is truly happening, so ideally you can make better decisions. This is the research that we personally use to find the best performing assets, sectors, and stocks, regardless of the type of macroeconomic situation we find ourselves in. You can watch an overview of our 2026 investment strategy for free in the description below if you want to understand how this research actually translates into positioning on the stock market. But the real risks to the economy are not the stocks themselves, it is all the elements tied to these stocks. Now, we already know that AI capital spending is having a real impact on US growth today. In 2025, about $375 billion went into AI infrastructure, roughly 1.2% of GDP. This year, that figure is expected to more than double to $875 billion, so 3% of GDP. But it's not just the spending, it's what happens once that spending starts to circulate around the economy. This is known as the multiplier effect. For example, in the first half of 2025, tech companies spent the equivalent of $177 billion on AI capex. According to various sources, this was responsible for $700 billion of US economic growth in the first half of 2025. That is a multiplier effect of 3.5x.
I was about to say, hang on. He's saying we spent 177, but it resulted in 700 billion. So imagine, Joe, right? We spent 177 on data centers, and and then that provided 700 billion of other spending around it, I guess is what he's trying to say. Okay, I can get on with that, right? It's like if you live in a small town and Walmart came to town, right? Because that's a thing, so Walmart finds opportunities, they move into that town, and now that town has not only the capex from Walmart being there, but now everybody who has a job at Walmart has more money. And then they're going to pop up little shops around there, right? They might put up Joe's Tire Shop, and they may put up like the Grand Buffet next to it, and then maybe like
brisket place,
a brisket place, right? And then beside that, they've got they always have, it's a women's clothing store. I can't remember what it's called. And that's their thing. They find where the Walmarts are and they go put their store right beside Walmart. Clearly, I don't shop at enough women's clothing stores to know this, but it's a thing. And that's how it grows from the 177 up to 700 billion. Let's keep going.
First half of 2025. That is a multiplier effect of 3.5x. This is why AI capex.
That's it. That's exactly what the one I was thinking of. Thanks, Ty.
Has been such a powerful driver of growth, and this positive contribution is exactly what makes it a tail risk to the economy. A very simple way to see that is by looking at Taiwan's export data. Taiwan produces more than 60% of the world's semiconductors, making it the most important source of chips globally. If we overlay US GDP on this chart, we see that periods where Taiwan's chip exports accelerate tend to lead to periods of strong US economic growth. When exports slow or contract, US growth tends to weaken. It's very likely that this is contributing to the healthy 2.3% economic growth that the US is seeing. It would also make sense that if exports begin to decline, it would drag economic growth down. And the more AI becomes the center of US economic growth, the more this becomes a risk. Now, looking out to 2030, AI capex is projected to reach $7 trillion, equivalent to roughly 20% of US GDP today. That is already a crazy figure, let alone if we account for the multiplier effect of all of that spending. If we do that, it would mean that the US economy almost doubles in size by 2030 just from AI spending. Now, you might be thinking,
USA. And Brandon has a great point, right? It's a weird thing to notice Chris's clothes or ladies' clothes, Chris, right? Well, also, like, where else am I going to get clothes that can let me flex on the guns like this, right? You can't buy men's clothes that look like this.
thinking that this is not very realistic. And you would be right. That is how bubbles form, when expectations get so unrealistic that it's almost impossible for them to get met. In order for these expectations to be justified, all of the spending would need to create real economic value. And even more importantly, it needs to provide a real positive return on investment. If investors realize that there is no return on investment, spending will collapse, which will create a big hole in GDP growth. The original justification for this wave of AI spending was productivity, that all of this would very quickly translate into a higher output per worker, lifting growth across the entire economy. But since ChatGPT went mainstream in November 2022, US labor productivity growth has averaged around 2%. This is only slightly higher than it was prior to ChatGPT's release.
That's interesting. US labor productivity, right? So I've worked in the finance sector literally since 2009. My first big boy job was working at Raytheon in FP&A. I'm an actual finance bro, right? I've been in the finance sector forever. Does that fall into labor productivity because it's a white collar job? And I don't know the answer. Maybe you guys do. But with ChatGPT coming along, I'm sure that had a detrimental impact on tons of white collar jobs. I just don't know if it would. Right. I don't know if this applies to this or if that's more of like a different type of labor activity. You know, Joe, do you know the answer? Because I really don't.
No, I do not know the answer. Hopefully an outlier does.
That's what I'm looking for in the chat. Outliers have ADHD and talk in movie theaters. Okay. Hey, the fat daddy's here, bro, with the skinny, beautiful wife. Let's keep going.
And corporate data seems to be telling a similar story. Only 12% of companies are actually reporting higher revenues and improved cost efficiency from AI adoption. 55% are reporting no material benefit at all. So AI is not really delivering any value on the productivity front. What has worked so far is the large language models. ChatGPT has roughly 1 billion monthly active users. which makes it the most rapidly adopted technology in human history, and it is delivering real value to its users. Now, most estimates place the total AI software and services revenues at around $300 to $500 billion annually by 2030. That's definitely significant revenue, but it still only represents 7.5% of the total infrastructure spending that is being projected. So in order to justify $7 trillion of capital expenditures by 2030, it would mean AI would need to produce a multi-trillion-dollar revenue stream or deliver significant sustained productivity gains large enough to significantly lift GDP growth. And we just do not have any concrete evidence of either of these outcomes yet. Much of the spending being done today is justified by speculations over future breakthroughs like drug discovery, autonomous systems, robotics, quantum computing. And while those breakthroughs will definitely come at one point, there's no guarantee that they take place by 2030 and deliver a clear return on investment for investors. So is all of this about to make one big pop and drag the economy into a recession? Well, to us, it actually depends on when the unwind actually occurs.
Huckleberry says they brag ChatGPT would significantly improve worker productivity, but this video indicates it did produce the productivity as much as the hype said it would. All right. Lex was way more interesting than this.
Even if in 2026 we see a large 30% pullback from the $375 billion of AI spending we had in 2025, that would only amount to a 0.3% hit to GDP. Even if we take into account the multiplier effect, it wouldn't have much more impact than just a shallow economic slowdown. But each year where AI spending grows and tracks these expectations that have been set, the more vulnerable it becomes to actually hitting the economy once investors come to realize that the return on investment may not be as high as they think. This is why we actually think that this chart is a pretty good representation of how things could play out. There's no real reason for why AI capex spending should reverse today. There's still room for it to grow and for investors to get more optimistic. But in 2 to 3 years' time,
I would also point out, right? Let's say that it does follow this trend. You can run this bad boy up the whole way, Joe. Right? This is what you dream of. This is the big, beautiful bull market trend that people wait their entire lives for. And if that's the case, by all means, let's do this thing. Don't be scared of it, right? Don't take the other side just yet, right? Don't be the guy who's trying to call the top all the way up, because there's plenty of bozos out there who are trying to do exactly that, Joe. They're looking at this, they're saying it's a bubble, I got to get in front of it, and they're just going to get wiped out, right? Let's say they're going short or they sell all their stocks and then their stocks go up another 30-40%. You're going to feel really stupid looking at this, being like, well, I thought it was the top. Let the top tell you where it's going to be, right? You don't have to put yourself in the way. I want to see what his point is right here, and then we'll get to plan ETF real quick.
It might be a completely different story. We actually think that 2026 will offer more opportunities in semiconductor stocks as the euphoria continues to grow.
That's what I'm saying, right? Ride it as it's getting more greedy. I have no issues with this.
We've already profited from positions on names like KLAC, TSM, ACMR, but we have a watch list of stocks that we think will outperform in the coming months. We highlight all of the...
I guess that was his point. I guess that was at the end of the video. I guess that was his point. Ride the wave up. Oh, that would have helped if you'd led off with that. Goodness gravy. Okay, let's take a detour real quick. And while we take that detour, that's going to give you a moment to put hashtag outlier in the chat so you can be a winner. What Joe suggested that he and I do, because he is way more professional than I am as a YouTuber, which is to take a look at Plan ETF. Now, we got out of Plan ETF yesterday. Just yesterday, we got out of Plan ETF. Because we got a sell signal on the SPY. The biggest, baddest thing that we have inside of Outlier is the buy or sell signal on the SPY. Now, could we see, because of the big, huge, golly, up 2% right now. That's crazy. This big, huge candle that came back. Could we see a buy signal on Monday? Possibly. I don't know. I don't make those kind of predictions, right? Just yesterday, the world was ending in our Discord. Just yesterday, everything was going to zero. Everybody panic. Those same people today are either ecstatic that they're so much smarter than me and they held onto their position and they never really had a trading plan to begin with. And maybe that's you watching this, or they're pissed beyond belief because this random guy on the internet sold his position, and you do you, my friend, and you also chose to sell your position. But here's the thing, Joe, I will repeat this forever. I'm always wrong. Always, according to the internet. If I say I'm selling, it's going to go up. If I say I'm buying, it's going to go down. Don't listen to anything I say. Random guy on the internet.
Yeah, don't listen to this random guy.
Yeah, don't listen to me. Literally, don't listen to me. So because of that, we don't have an uptrend in SPY. The 10 is still under the 20. It's close, but the 10 is under the 20. It's a fact. Okay. We had a downtrend yesterday, and as I mentioned yesterday, it can and has popped right back up in the past. And could that lead to higher prices? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy who's going to come out here and be like, according to my technical analysis, if I draw this trend line over there and this trend line over there, I'm going to tell the market it should go up, my friend. Yeah. So anyways, you do you. All right. You do you. Don't listen to anything that I have to say. But the SPY has a sell signal. Qs have a sell signal. In fact, I want to look at the Q chart real quick. Where's Qs? Oh, Qs. This is in a downtrend like no one's business. The 10's under the 20, price is well under the 50. This is pretty brutal, right? And if we go a little bit deeper, right, it makes sense because we're getting more and more stocks that are hitting that sell signal. And I want to look at the S&P 500 map real quick. It's going to be insanely green today. Concentrated in now, Joe. Remember the S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index. So if big names on here make big moves, that's going to have an outsized impact on the market. Nvidia picking up a lot of steam today. So's Broadcom, so's AMD. AMD. Congratulations, guys. AMD is going to the moon. Wait a minute. What's going on with that? Oh, no. Remember, one day does not make a trend, okay? One day does not make a trend, especially when you just had a 20% sell-off the day before. So for me, I don't have any plans for adding any new risk today. I'm going to continue to sit in cash and not F up. And that's fine. I know for a fact, Joe, I'm not going to catch every trade, and that's fine, right? As professional investors, we understand winning is part of the game. Winning is an unavoidable natural consequence of trading, and so is losing. But also, traders who understand the market dynamics understand that there are times to be aggressive and also times to not be aggressive, be defensive. And I am in a defensive posture right now with sitting in cash, not effing up. That's the plan. So I don't have to worry about any trading today. I do have to worry about giving away all kinds of cool stuff with you putting in hashtag outlier, though. You got to put in hashtag outlier. While you do that, let's read some of the success stories from this week, like low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit. Where did it go? Hold tight. Where's low Earth orbit? I clicked these earlier, and now I have like totally lost them. There it is. GLD had to close today because of a 2 ATR stop. Opened in November and rolled it 12 times. He opened it in November and he rolled it 12 times. He turned a 3.8K position into $15,000. Dude.
That's awesome. I mean, I hope to one day roll 12 times a single trade. That is awesome.
But let's break this down even further. The low Earth orbit hit his 2 ATR stop. You know what that means, Joe?
He should have sold.
Rolled it. He actually would be looking at a full loser here.
Yeah.
But because he rolled it so many times, and now what does this look like, right? If we go to the GLD chart, I have no idea. I literally don't have any idea where he got in or where he got out. But let's say that he got in right here, and that was his 2 ATR stop when it hit, right? Somehow, and I have no idea how he did this, right? He's going to do his thing. He rolled it 12 times all the way up, and then it hit his 2 ATR stop on the way back down. On the way back down, it hit his 2 ATR stop, and the low Earth orbit just 5x'd, nearly 5x'd his position here.
He opened in the November 25th, so I would say that his plan has been personalized.
Oh, here we go.
He uses a trailing 2 ATR stop.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's go back to November 25th. Thank you, Joe, for noticing that detail. My itty bitty baby brain never even saw it.
Wow, look at that run! Congratulations.
Look at that run.
But it just goes to show why you should have a stop You should have a plan. You should have exits because there's a lot of red candles in there. He could have
Oh, yeah.
he or she could have freaked out about this trade many, many times, but clearly that didn't happen. This person followed their plan. They rolled it a bazillion times and made bank.
Yeah, and look at that. That's the buy signal came through on January 6th. So he actually held it on the second buy signal, held it through the sell right here, which very quickly turned back into a buy, and then another huge move up. And even though it didn't get you out at the very top, by rolling your trade, rolling your position all the way up, you lock in those gains as it goes up higher and higher and higher. Pretty cool. So congratulations to Low Earth Orbit for that. Congratulations to all of our winners this week. There were 31 people who posted in the Share Your Big Wins. So that means I get to come over here and I'm going to give away 2 prizes. That's how you become a Brazilianaire. Exactly. I'm going to give away 2 prizes here. Our first winner is number 17. And that is Albertone. What's up, dude? Albertone, one of our long timers. Big winner of the day. Let's see what Albertone has won. Let's pull up the spin the wheel over here. Now we're also going to give away a couple other prizes to those watching live, but only if you put hashtag OVTLYR in the chat. Joe told me there's an issue with sound on this, so I've disabled sound, Joe. Here we go. Joe, are you flexible on hiring? Well, you should try Upwork. Upwork is a great place for you to have the efficiency that is key in today's markets. And Albertone's going home with an OVTLYR University koozie. Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. I have one of those.
I have that same koozie. Yeah. I should dig that up.
OVTLYR University koozie. Let's see who the next winner is. And by the way, we're still giving away more merch if you put hashtag OVTLYR in the chat. Let's see who the second winner is. Second winner is number 19. That is Diff. Not the same. He's Diff. Yeah. Joe, seriously, are you flexible with hiring? You should try Upwork, right? I mean, they're very persistent here. They're very persistent. Let's see what Diff has won. Let's see what Diff has won. A OVTLYR flag mug. I actually need to get one of those. Congratulations, Diff, on your OVTLYR flag mug. April and Cheryl will be in contact with you winners on these 2 right here. Now, for everybody else who's watching live, who's our first winner going to be? Who's our first winner going to be? First winner is MJ Carney, 8278. Mr. Carney, I swear this guy, he's so lucky. I think he's won before. But you know what? My rule is you can't win 2 weeks in a row using the weekly winner circle. This is not the weekly winner circle, my friend. This is the StreamYard giveaway tool. So that totally works. So congratulations, Mr. Carney. Let's see what Mr. Carney has won. Dude, I can't keep track of everybody who wins. We have so many winners. I can't keep track of everybody. Let's see what Mr. Carney won. There he is right there. Woo woo. A $10 merch credit. Now, as you know, Mr. Carney, everything in our store is priced at the very, very, very lowest price that we can. And I'm sending this over to April and Cheryl so I don't forget. And then we'll pull up the store real quick. It's priced at the very lowest price, shop.outlier.com. And you can pick up a OVTLYR University hat like what I'm wearing for $21.50. Now you got a $10 merch credit, and this applies for everybody. You can actually save 10% on everything in the store always by using code OVTLYR. Now, we have it priced at the lowest we possibly can, which is cost plus 20%. If you use the code OVTLYR at checkout, you'll save 10%, which takes your total cost to cost plus 8%. We hack their systems, Joe. We hack their mainframes. This is the way that we can give you the lowest price possible. All right. It's not hashtag OVTLYR, just so y'all know. It's not hashtag OVTLYR checkout. It's just the word OVTLYR. Just the word OVTLYR. Will there be Chris Chain's items in the merch list in the future? I don't know. By the way, do you want to see the preview of something new coming into the merch store? You guys probably don't, right?
I want to see it. In the meantime, hello to you too, and I'm really glad you are here.
Yeah, nobody would be interested in seeing a preview of something that we've been working on. I'm sure nobody would be interested in Ninja Rollers merch.
Whoa, nice.
I know. So this is coming from Mark in the Bravo group. I think he came up with this. So it's either him or Kostya. Yeah. Oh, there it is right there. There it is, Mark. You asked for it. Here we go. Ninja Roller merch, my friend. We are on it.
Nice.
Okay, wait, there's more. There's more. El Toro had a great idea. And so we've been working on another piece of merch. Now, from the outset, it kind of looks like the shirt I'm wearing, right? Kind of from the outset. Cost you. There you go. From the outset, it kind of looks like the shirt I'm wearing. I like these type of shirts, right? Little patterns on it. But Joe, guess what those little patterns are? Guess what those little patterns are? Hang on real quick. I'll show you.
What are they?
If you thought they were itty bitty baby outlier logos, you would be right. Isn't that cool? So little bitty baby outlier logos make up the pattern on that shirt.
That's pretty cool. Who came up with this?
El Toro. El Toro in the Discord. Yeah, he came up with this. So
wow.
We're working on it. Yeah, there you go, Jeff.
That is cool.
Listen, we listen to you guys. You guys asked for it. We're working on it. So I don't know when they're going to be ready just yet. Maybe some tweaks here and there. But isn't this cool? I'm really happy with how these are turning out.
That looks like $150 shirt or something. That looks really pro.
I have no idea how much it's going to cost. Whatever it's going to cost, it's going to be the lowest price we can possibly do it. You need one with watches. No, you don't. Listen, as a nerd like myself, you definitely don't need one with watches. Yeah. Should we give something else away, Joe?
Yeah, let's do
it. Did somebody else already win? I forget. We got MJ Carney over here. How about we do one more? One more for the weekend. One more for the weekend. Let's see.
Hoodie.
Let's see who. Like here in Texas, Joe, it's 80 degrees today, by the way. It's glorious. It looks like early summer. It's so nice. Sneaky beef. It's snowing where you are?
Yeah.
Time to move to Texas, my friend. Sneaky beef. Nice. It's a very, very sneaky teddy bear beef. So I wonder if he like takes teddy bears like this when he's going to the movie theater. Hear me out. He goes to the movie theater and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch the new Anaconda movie." So he walks in and the person who's taking the tickets are like, "Excuse me, sir. You can't take any outside food." And he's like, "I don't have food. I got a blankie. I got a teddy bear. I'm good to go." But you know what's inside that teddy bear? Some sneaky beef, right? He's got his beef sticks in there. He's going to go full caveman and pulling out his Jack Links going crazy, right? I'm just saying, sneaky beef. It's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. Speaking of not for nothing, let's see what sneaky beef has won.
You have an imagination, sir.
Sneaks his beef in the teddy. I don't know where you're going with that, Rick.
I'm not touching that.
It's a wife giving that nickname. Oh, that's a good one right there. That's a good one. Okay, he got a monkey hammered outlier shirt light. Congratulations. What's a monkey hammered outlier shirt light look like? Monkey hammered outlier shirt. Oh, there you go. Right there. Only a $50 shirt heading your way. So here's what you got to do. You got to take the teddy bear, put the monkey hammer shirt on top of it. That way, the next time you go into the movie theaters, when you go see The Devil Wears Prada 2, you got the sneaky beef stuck in the teddy bear with the monkey hammer shirt on. They're definitely not going to question you. They're going to be like, "Okay, cool, man. You just do you, right? You do you."
They're gonna say this. This guy is not normal.
That was a good transition, Joe. I approve of that one. You know what else I approve of? I approve of all of our winners making sure you email support@outlier.com. That way April or Cheryl will help you out and take care of you and send you your merch. So Joe, this has been fun today. My ADHD is absolutely out of control today, and apologies for that, and apologies for starting late. But you know what? I hope you have a great weekend, Joe, and everybody watching as well. And if somebody were looking to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, what do you think they should do, Joe?
They should go over to OVTLYR.com and check out a subscription or free trial to see if it's something they're interested in. And also come back and watch one of these videos.
Oh, one of these videos? What a great idea, Joe. Have a fantastic afternoon, everybody. And we will definitely be talking soon.